Hello everyone from Ali at 11th House Wales, and welcome to this week's appointment. Today we're talking about panic attacks, which is something which is very, very close to my heart because there was a time in my life when I was suffering from regular panic attacks. And I just knew when I went to bed at night that I would wake up at some point during the night not being able to breathe. And it was very, very real. And it was absolutely terrifying. I think if you've never had a panic attack, you can't really realize the full extent of how intense it is. You get this sense of doom. Sometimes you feel like you really are going to die, even if we know rationally, we know that you're not going to die from a panic attack, but your brain doesn't know that. Your limbic brain, the ancient part of your brain, somehow has registered something. And sometimes you do know what the trigger is, and sometimes you don't know, and it's just completely out of the blue. You don't expect it, it just happens. Your brain has somehow registered something, which is telling it that it is in danger, that you are in danger, and it is just firing signals to the body, and it won't listen. And it is something that is impossible to stop straight away. Of course, when you are in the middle of a panic attack, all you want is for it to stop instantly. It's not going to stop instantly. It's not something that you can just instantly escape from. It's not something that you can successfully resist. And of course, we know that whatever we resist persists because we are feeding it more attention. You would be feeding it, in this case, more stress through that resistance. And of course, the panic attack is happening because your stress levels are already very high. Your levels of the stress hormone are already very high. So what can you do? Well, of course, if you were to make changes to your everyday life where you will be able to keep your stress in check, it is that daily accumulation of stress which really doesn't help. But what can you do if you are in the middle of a panic attack? What are some things that you can do to help yourself there and then, should you need to? Well, first of all, the thing that I always tell my students and my clients as well is, please do remember that the mind is not the enemy. Your mind is not the enemy. Like I was saying, somehow your brain has registered something which registered as an aggression, as a threat, as a danger. And all it really wants is to keep you alive. It wants to keep you safe. So I think that just knowing and realizing, really realizing that your brain is not the enemy, it's not working against you, it is working for you in the only way that it knows how to. That already helps you to ride it out, because that is the best thing that you can do really when you are in the throes of a panic attack, not to resist it, to just flow with it. You really need to ride it out. So just keep reminding yourself that these are feelings, all of this fight or flight, all of this sense of doom, all of this fear, panic, literally. These are feelings. They can't hurt you. They're very, very extremely uncomfortable, but they will not hurt you. Just remind yourself of what is going on. Your levels of stress hormones are very high right now. That is what is happening. Just rationalize it to yourself. You can't fight it. Let it flow while reminding yourself that you are safe. So in this way, you are re-establishing a little bit your more evolved, your rational brain, your prefrontal cortex over that ancient limbic system, which just wants you to run away. So you are rationalizing things to yourself and re-establishing the fact that you are safe. Now, what happens is that the brain is sending signals down to the body to prepare to fight or prepare to run away. And the body, by responding with that fast, shallow breathing, with the fast heartbeat, with the sweaty hands, is reinforcing that message back to the brain. The brain picks up on all of these physical signs, all of these physical phenomena going on, and that reinforces the message. Oh yes, I am in danger, because the body is doing that. I know that I am in danger. And so that cycle perpetuates itself and it reinforces itself every time. So how do you interrupt that cycle? Something else that will not let you down is working on your breath. So, like I very often tell you to do, breathe nice and deep down, as far down as you can into your belly. And this is the very, very important part. The key part of it is when you breathe out nice and slow, so that your out breath is longer than the in breath. Now, if you want to help you with that, you can count. So you can, for example, breathe in for a count of 7 and breathe out for a count of 11. So there are various techniques that use counting in order to make sure that the out breath is longer. If you want, you can. You don't need to, just as long as you make sure that your out breath is longer than the in breath, and that will activate your parasympathetic nervous system. So you are registering your body, your breathing, your body is registering safety to the brain, so that we are interrupting that cycle from the body going to the brain. Now, you will need to give it a chance. You will need to give it at least a couple of minutes. After a couple of minutes, you will start noticing a difference. You will start noticing that you are calming down. The brain will start picking up on these signals, and it will start saying, well, because I know that the body is breathing slowly, that is the pattern of breathing that the body uses when it's safe, when there are no dangers. That is when you breathe nice and deep, nice and slow. So the brain will cotton on and it will start calming down. Something else that you can do in order to, again, interrupt this cycle is use a technique which is used in havening. We talked about havening before. What havening does is it produces delta waves in the brain. Delta waves are the waves that the brain naturally produces when you are asleep. So they are the slowest, the calmest brain waves. And there are points in the body which when you stroke them, when you touch them, will produce delta waves. And these are the arms. So if you were to stroke your arms like this, so both of your arms, and again, you will need to give it time, give it a chance to act. That will start to calm your brain down. Other points are the cheeks. So stroking, touching the cheeks has the same effect. And if you're in public, I suppose the safest one would be the palms of your hands. So you could rub your hands together like this, which is something that if you do it discreetly, you know, there are ways of making it look as if you are thinking, something that you can do when, I don't know, when trying to concentrate on something, and you might play with the palms of your hands like this. And these 3 bullet points, these are things that you can either do in a sequence, or you could choose one, or you could even stack them. You can do them all together. So you could stroke your arms or the palms of your hands at the same time as you are telling yourself, it's okay. It's okay. And I know that it is okay. I know that I am safe. I know exactly what is going on physically now in my brain, what is going on in my body. I know what these symptoms are. I am safe. It is uncomfortable, but I know that I am safe. I know that I'm not going to suffer any major consequences from this, and I know that I can calm down. And you could use your breath at the same time. So you got that calming, soothing, reassuring self-talk going on in your head. You are stroking those points in your body that produce delta waves, and you are doing your breathing, nice deep breathing with the out breath, nice and long as you can. So I really hope that, first of all, you won't get a panic attack. But I also hope that all of these things, these three little strategies, will come in useful for you if you ever do, or if you ever need to help someone who is going through a panic attack. And I will see you here again next week, same day, same time. All the best from me. Have a lovely, lovely week, lush week, and I'll see you here soon. Bye. Bye-bye.